The ground did break. It was a little wet, little cold, but it was I call it muddy. But it was good actually for all the weather and all the issues. Everything came off really well, which we were real pleased with. It's obviously symbolic, but it's a huge moment. That what it represents. Sometimes it's not reality. A lot of times you have a groundbreaking, and then to be like many months later that things will actually get going. And in this case, it is real. Right? We are really getting after it. Obviously, you all have seen some of the construction that's already taken place in the parking lots, but it is rolling along, and it's going to be a transformational thing for us.
Laird, what do the next few weeks just after football season ends look like for the start of this?
Yeah, a lot of it's kind of the prep work. They'll be getting in there, start doing excavation soon. So you'll start seeing a lot of the underground work soon, and then it takes a while to come out of the ground. But there's also a ton of work going on in the background, a lot of meetings, continuing the design and all those efforts, and of course, fundraising, etc.
What do you expect it to look like during next season? What do you expect the construction process to look like during football games?
Yeah. So next season there'll be a substantial area that'll be sort of out of bounds for everybody. We'll have it fenced off really well. I've been other places where we've had projects like this, and while it sounds daunting, it's actually very manageable, and our fans will get used to it really quick. We'll provide a lot of information to them about how to work around it, and in our case, the vast majority of the seats will still continue to be intact. So it'll be fun. People will be able to see progress and see that going up, and kind of envision what it's going to look like next.
You mentioned the fundraising piece. Just where does that stand with that $125 million that you're trying to get to?
Yeah, it's going really well. We actually just closed another 7-figure gift here earlier this week, and a lot of really good conversations in the background. We're still just over the $90 million mark in terms of total commitments, but I think we're going to start seeing some more progress here soon. A lot of our focus in the last month or two in particular has been more towards this sort of shift where we've talked about publicly in our fundraising overall process and what we're doing, kind of our will to win effort and the restructuring, if you will, of how we're going to operate here moving forward. So there'll be a lot more information there, and then we'll use that platform to continue to fundraise into the new year.
Laird, where are you with that as far as when are fans going to kind of get an idea of what the price difference is for them?
Yeah, real soon. Here within, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks is probably a fair time frame. So within the month of December, before the end of the year, we'll be providing more personalized, detailed information to our fans, not only about how it'll impact them directly, but also kind of how we're going to shift our overall fundraising operation and just make it more simple and easy to follow, easier to understand, and really try to motivate our folks who are willing to give above and beyond seats. And recognize and reward those kind of efforts. So we're excited about it. A lot of things that came today have just needed to happen in the last handful of years that just haven't really happened in our space. So it'll give us the platform moving forward to really elevate our fundraising efforts.
They're just a little bit different, but just with senior day today and this project and through that kind of lens, coming in as an administrator, what kind of impact can Luther Burden or just one player have on what a football team or a brand becomes?
Mm-hmm. When you have somebody like that who makes a decision and commits like that, it has such an impact among the other players. And so many of the things we talk about are kind of symbolic to the fan base, but the reality of it is what that means to other players on the team when they see somebody of that magnitude not only commit but also have real success at a place and continue to elevate their position so they can take that next step professionally. So it's been a huge impact for us overall, but it's also kind of part of what's happening with Coach Drink's program. We're going to see more and more of those types of players because of the types of things he's doing.
You mentioned in your introductory press conference that a successful football team and a successful program really drives athletic departments. How have you seen that kind of manifest this year as you've been here in your first year?
Yeah, well, no question. And so much of it is it has such an impact, not only on the financial side. I think everybody gets that in our world now. They recognize football is sort of the cash cow of our operation. We have to have them doing well financially. But what it does overall for the university and the kind of momentum and the feeling around an institution and the impact on enrollment and all the things we've talked about, it's pretty incredible. I feel incredibly fortunate to be here at a time when we have games and opportunities like this to continue to push forward the program.
I understand the answer depends a little bit on the next 30 minutes here and what happens, but how do you assess kind of this season and what it's done, whether it's pushed forward? Because there are also a lot of people that look, if you're not in the top 12, it's a little bit short of what they hope.
Yeah. I think it's been really impressive for me to see, kind of fighting through some adversity, through some injuries, and continuing to be right there in these games. If you look at how close we were with South Carolina, and that 1 or 2 play difference in the position that would put us in now. To be that close is important, and continue to be that close year after year, so you put yourself in a position where periodically you can bump up to that even higher level. When you look across college athletics, look what happened today with Ohio State, Michigan. The teams are, and again, continue to have a harder and harder time to truly dominate. So you're going to see more and more teams like ours that are just right there in the mix, and continue to do that and drive up is where we need to be.
With the similar asterisk of what happens in the next 30 minutes might change it, just, what do you kind of look at as an attractive bowl option for Mizzou as that process starts to play out after today?
I look at it, first of all, an opponent, so it's really hard to tell at this point which one is the right matchup. I mean, you got to get through today, really even get through next weekend. It'll start to narrow down, but to me, the bowl experience is first of all about who you're playing, and so it can be a meaningful game against a brand that you want to play against. And ideally, it can be a place, a location that our fans want to get to, and something warm is always nice. But in the end, it's about the opponent and the matchup.
Elon mentioned earlier this week that they spent a lot of bowl week. I mean, he used the word in negotiations with players about next year. What's the administration's involvement in things like that with the portal opening in 9 days?
Yeah. Well, in the end, we still, you need your coaches to be able to be empowered to have those conversations and to make those decisions. But then you're trying to equip them in every way you can. A lot of what we've been doing in the background is getting ready for revenue sharing, getting ready for this future that we're entering into. And for us at Mizzou, it's not that entirely much different than the way we've operated because of our structure, because of the state law and all those things. But there's certainly financial pieces, and a lot of it is just making sure that we're in a position where we have the resources to be able to invest the way we need to. And that's a lot of what we've been talking about with raising prices, with restructuring our efforts, is that's to empower Coach Drink and our other coaches to be able to secure talent and win. I mean, that's just the world we're in now. So a lot of the conversations in the background were with us, with our coaches, putting them in a position to know what they have to work with and how they can manage that to put together the roster.
Thank you.
Thanks,